Hey guys, welcome to the Popular Loners Club. Okay, before I begin, let me tell you that I am not here to feed anybody's ego, codependency, nothing like that. This channel is where I speak the truth, the full truth, nothing but the truth. Speak the truth, shame the devil with the details. Okay, I also curse, so if you don't like cursing, this may not be the channel for you. If you want your ego rubbed and you don't want to take full accountability on take accountability for your own feelings and emotions, then this may not be the channel for you either. It may not resonate with you. You might feel like, I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever. It is what it is. I once was in that energy. I was. There's a lot of things that I could say that I wasn't happy with. Okay, that transpired, and I can blame other people for it. There are people that are still the blame for certain things, but it just is what it is. I'm an adult now. I'm responsible for my own choices, my decisions, my feelings. I'm responsible for my healing. Can I be grateful for being here so that way I can do this, so that I can live peacefully within the world? Absolutely. But too many people give too much responsibility to other people for their feelings, okay? And if you don't want to acknowledge that, then fine. And it just is what it is. Like, you expect too many things from people that don't even know how to give it to themselves. And then you get angry and upset when shit don't go your way, And that's a personal journey, okay? When you get into a relationship, it doesn't mean that the other person is 100% or fully responsible for your feelings, your emotions, your stability, your comfort, your anything. When you get into a relationship, it's supposed to be a partnership, okay? You're supposed to be able to come to one another, be able to speak to each other openly without any judgment. If you agreed upon something in the beginning, then you agree to it. If things change, you go to your person. You don't go to other people. And you say, hey, look, things change. Are we able to proceed, or should we separate right now so that way we can still have a peaceful ending, okay? So I don't know what's going to come out in the message, okay? But this is what this channel is about, okay? I've been through many heartbreaks. I've been through many, betrayals. But I'm at the point in my life where I have to take full accountability for the things that I've allowed, accepted, made excuses for, because I was in a codependent kind of energy. When you're no longer in a codependent energy, it's like, okay, this no longer works. Okay. You're okay with releasing it, not holding anything hostage because it's become part of your life. If you've been married for 20, 30 years, and now maybe the whole entire 20 years or 15 years of it, you've been miserable as fuck, and you've held on to it as long as you could, and you realize, listen, when am I in this for? And you decide to say this must come to an end, then it must come to an end. All right. A lot of people stay in shit because they feel ashamed. They don't want to feel like failures to, the people who have watched them create a lifetime with one another. You may have children, you may not, you want to break certain statistics and things of that nature, but to each his own. Okay, so on my channel, I don't judge, but I do speak the full entire truth. Okay, place yourself where you feel fit on the timeline, if you're even going to resonate and stick around long enough to hear the actual message. I do curse sometimes, so if you don't like cursing, this may not be a channel for you either. Again, there are many readers here that only want to speak about the other person. To me, the other person don't fucking matter. Why? Because it's always going to end up just us, no matter what. Our feelings, how we, navigate through the world, it's always going to be us at the end of the day. Caring about what somebody else feel, that means we're just, delaying what we really need to fix within ourselves because we're so focused on the other person. So again, if you want to know what the other person is thinking, feeling, if you want to know, the regrets that another person is having, the way that they treated you, then this will possibly not be the channel for you. Because the way my spirit guides is set up for me to create this channel authentically is for us to focus on what's important, and that's us. Okay. So if you think another person is more important than you, then yeah, this channel may not be your channel either. So with much ado, any negative energies that is being sent this way to you, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. All negative energy shall be returned to sender 100 times fold. Okay, and with that being said, namaste. Let's tap in. Let's tap in. God bless you. I can do what everybody else is doing to get my views higher, to boost up my likes, to boost up my viewing time, but no, I'll keep it just like this. However way it grows, however way it moves is how it will. At least I know it's built off of something stable and authentic. Okay. Again, I appreciate your likes, your comments, your subscribes, your shares. All right, because without you, it won't grow. But at the end of the day, there's still a message that needs to be revealed. And whoever takes the time to listen, then thank you. Whoever don't, thank you. It may not be your time. All right. Let's see. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, give us a clear and precise message for January 1st, 2026. Okay. If you celebrate the new year, happy calendar new year. All right. I tend to celebrate my New Year's now on my birthday, and that's past. Yeah. All right, let's see. We have a 4 of Wands to a 3 of Pentacles type of situation. So there could have been a situation where there was a marriage, right? Somebody can be getting divorced, or somebody can still be in a relationship with someone else. The relationship can be just based off convenience, finances, stability. Somebody could have gotten sucked into this union, this connection, where they don't really belong. Okay. But it's like someone is staying for some sort of convenience, some sort of stability financially, but there is a marriage, there's some sort of home environment, there's a family that is surrounded by this situation here. Okay. We have the Page of Swords. You could have been asked to kind of look past the facts of the matter here. Okay. It's like somebody possibly could have asked you not to look at the devil, the details of what's happening here. All right. It's like somebody wanted you to come in a situation with fresh eyes, even though there's still a situation that's old in the background or playing even in the forefront. Okay. It's like somebody wanted you to look at something as if you have total reign over it. We have the two coming out. We have the the 8 of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you're taking your office somewhere else. Okay, it's like somebody wanted to bind you, trap you until they get their shit together, and somebody wanted you to wait on them. Okay, I feel like somebody wanted you to wait on them because, again, this could be, like I said, someone trying to come out of a relationship. They wanted you to look at it as fresh eyes. They wanted you to feel like, okay, well, we're together, and that's all that matters. Don't look at the other things. Somebody just didn't want you to pay attention to the details. Mm. Mm. It's like somebody wanted you to go into some sort of codependent kind of energy to where you just lived in some sort of fairy tale, and this can easily backfire in your face, and someone would easily say, well, you knew about my situation, you know what I'm saying, and you would just be left like this, like feeling trapped, feeling stupid, you know. Yeah, feeling like a victim, like you didn't have a decision from the beginning. All right, I feel like somebody wanted you to believe in them. I feel like somebody wanted you to believe in this situation here. Somebody wanted you to be stupid, and wanted you to tie yourself to something that just didn't feel right for your spirit, for your soul here. Okay, who the fuck agrees to be with somebody who hasn't closed out a chapter? Like, who does that? And I know I can possibly sound so judgmental right now, but again, it's like, come on now, don't put yourself in an awkward situation and then run off like a victim, especially if you know what's going on. Now, if you don't know what's going on, I can understand why you would feel the way that you feel if somebody kept some shit from you or some sort of secret, but I don't think that this is that. I think that somebody could have definitely spoken all the truth to you, the truth that they actually wanted you to know, the big truth about the situation here. But it's a possibility that somebody can be backtracking with whomever they with, you know what I'm saying? But because you know, okay, the big detail of it, it's like somebody wanted you to just kind of like play stupid to it, you know? Be desperate to a situation. Like, this world is so big, there's so many fish in the sea, there's a whole lot of fish that you had to throw back, you know what I'm saying? Like, some you caught, you ate half of it and realized you got sick, you know. Like, I feel like this is somebody who definitely wanted you to wait, okay, for some sort of real offer. It's like somebody is trying to trap you, hold you down, so that way you won't find someone else to give you what you deserve. Okay. Again, if this is something that you knew of, if somebody was truthful and honest about a marriage, about some sort of relationship where they have to stay kind of bound to someone else, maybe kids are involved, a lot of financials, maybe they have properties and stuff like that tied up together, and it's like somebody kind of wanted you to know these things just in case some shit fell left, just in case, you know, somebody decided to work on whatever their four wands is, right? But I feel like, again, this person didn't have any good intentions for you. I feel like this is something very selfish, and it's really entirely up to you. Like I said, if you know about the devil in these details and you chose to look the other way, yeah, you're gonna find yourself trapped and restricted. Okay, and you're gonna find yourself very hurt if this is somebody who decides to stay in a situation that they haven't closed out yet completely. But if you're someone who don't fucking know, okay, and you went in with this idea of this person being your person and they kept the secret, the devil, in their pocket, then I can see, like, if you find out something, why the offer was slow, why someone is not giving you fully what you know you deserve, why you deciding to stay in a place where it's something that's very slow moving and maybe even inconsistent. Okay. Ooh, we have the Lovers coming out in the reverse, but followed by the Four of Wands. So yeah, this is just not going to work. There's a lot of misalignment values here. I do feel like whatever that's happening within this home life has nothing to do with you, but if you insert yourself in it, it will become your problem, and there will be a lot of conflict, okay? Misunderstandings. This would definitely be a bad choice for you to enter into something knowingly that someone didn't close something out prior to getting to know you or trying to come into your thing. This is where you take accountability, especially if you made a open choice to be with someone who hasn't closed out a chapter yet. Okay, there's going to be a lot of hurt, there's going to be a lot of pain, there's going to be a lot of disharmony, a lot of imbalance. Your values aren't aligning here. Okay. So for any of you who went in blindly, not knowing of a situation that was playing in the background, you will find yourself fighting with this person often, questioning them. Where are you? Where have you been? You know, you're not receiving certain type of communication that you would normally if you were with someone who could communicate with you openly. It's going to cause a lot of conflict here. You're going to question yourself a lot in this relationship because you're not going to understand why aren't you able to get something that someone says they can give you, but you're not getting it. Why is it such a push-pull situation here? All right. We have the Queen of Pentacles. This can be somebody who is tied to someone who has a nice bit of finances. They might be very important in the community in which they live in. This is somebody who can be very mature. This can be someone older. I feel like this is somebody who holds on to a lot of image. So they would keep a relationship even if it's not a real one. Now, if this is you and you chose to remove yourself from a dynamic that was going to cause you to be some sort of third party, I feel like you decided to cut your losses and nurture what you have. This is about you reclaiming your independence, your dependency, and not being codependent based off of other people's ability to help you out of certain situations or give you certain things that you feel you require some sort of assistance with. Okay, so this can be you breaking surely out of a lot of codependent energy. You're focusing more so on nurturing yourself and what you have. And you're leaving some sort of it's not even a contract, but it can be like a karmic contract. You're leaving some sort of contract behind. You're ending something. You're cutting something loose. We have the Two of Pentacles. I feel like somebody wanted to juggle the situation. Somebody wanted to downplay it, not make it as serious as you knew that it was. I feel like this is somebody who was going to try to juggle their priorities around. I feel like you wasn't going to get 100% from this person, because how could you, right? I do feel like here you were willing to adapt. You were willing to adapt, but quickly realized that this was dumb. It was foolish. It didn't make any sense for you. It went against your values. You could have realized this was settling energy, that you was settling for just a partner, anything. You could have felt very imbalanced with dealing with this energy, trying to see things for the good. Either way, whether you knew or you didn't, you was trying to see something from the good. It's just something was not connected. You felt like you was being juggled. You felt like you wasn't being told the complete truth. And we all can tell white lies, but it's something here that you knew was off balance. And I feel like you needed to pull some of your power back and learn how to balance your own decisions and not try to make other people feel better in situations that they can be juggling or be confused in. Okay? I'm only taking one. It won't be this one. It will be this one. It's going to be the Six of Swords here. You decided to move on. You decided that you didn't like how you felt in this connection here. You realized that you could have been abandoning yourself, your self-worth, your dignity, your respect. Okay? You realized that something needed to change unless you wanted to stay in a place of victimhood. Again, if you did not know that this person was already in a relationship or in a marriage or something where a cycle wasn't ended on that end, if you didn't know and you found out, you released this, you immediately called it quits. You chose to remove yourself from a situation that wasn't going to serve you, okay? Now, if you was a person who knew about the situation, you was trying to be optimistic in it, you did the same fucking thing, okay? You realized that you didn't like the way that you felt in the situation. You realized that you kept feeling insecure. You started to feel like doubtful, and you just didn't like these feelings for you, okay? And you decided to remove yourself, learn from your mistakes, and just keep it moving, okay? I feel like you're leaving someone behind, or you're leaving an energy behind. Maybe the Page of Swords energy is what you're leaving behind when it comes to certain types of relationships, or seeing relationships even with yourself as optimistic, okay? I'm not saying that you lost your soft spot, but it just takes a little bit longer to get there, and that's okay. I feel like this is you protecting your energy and your peace. Oh, that came out fast. We have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. You're protecting your energy and your peace. I feel like many of you are not accepting any type of love offers at this time. There could have been a lot of disappointments. Like I said, with this Knight of Pentacles, with that slow movement, it could have caused you to feel like jealous in the situation, especially if you knew about the situation, okay? And even if you didn't know, it's like it was a feeling you felt, you know? You didn't feel like you had the amount of access that you would normally have if you were in a relationship, or the feelings what you wanted, okay? Not that you were needy or anything, like nothing like that. But it's like, you know, how sometimes you just get a little bored or you just want to tell somebody something and then you call them and they don't pick up. Or you text them and you see that it was read, but they don't respond. You know, it's like you were in an energy of being disappointed, and it caused you to become very moody and disconnected from your true feelings. Okay? I feel like in order for you to move on, you had to recognize this, what was happening. And you had to realize that you didn't deserve this type of feeling or treatment. And again, if you chose to be in the situation, you still realize that that was a bad decision, a bad choice. You was able to fix it by moving on because you did not deserve to feel that kind of way. You probably gave somebody the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Oh shoot, that came out fast. 8 of Wands to the 4 of Wands to the Lovers in reverse here. There could have been a time where you wished for a happy family, where you wish to have what is it? A house with a picket fence, 2 kids and a dog. I feel like you moved away from the decision very quickly. And I feel like this change only happened quickly because it never really resonated with you in the first place. I feel like from the beginning you knew something was a little off with this dynamic, okay? And you couldn't force yourself to lie to yourself anymore, okay? We have the Ace of Swords. This is something that you needed to clear up mentally, okay? And regarding to how you wanted to be seen or how you want to be viewed in connections, even for yourself, right? And I feel like a breakthrough came through for you and you started to see things extremely clearly. If you are somebody who, say you're a single parent and this person knew you as a single parent, right? And say you lack the support of the other parent in your child's or children's lives, and this person knows this, they were going to take whatever they felt was lack in your life to try to get you to be codependent, deal with bullshit, or make you feel like you didn't deserve anything more than what you was receiving from them. I feel like you withdrew that. I feel like, collective, because you're just a strong person, okay, and regardless, like I said, making whatever decision or choice you chose, you're still going to be strong, because it takes a strong person to admit that I fucked up, okay, and pull the energy back and start to nurture and care for it and start working on things solely for themselves and for whatever dependent children they may have in their care, okay, independently. All right, you realize that you didn't need to deal with someone's offer that wasn't doing something genuinely, okay. Somebody really wanted you to feel like a child, or somebody views you as a childlike energy. And again, if they know about some sort of lack that you may be experiencing, they weaker because they use those things to kind of gain what they want from other people. Narcissists. Yeah, look at this shit. Before I even turned the card around, the 7 of Swords. It's like somebody wanted you to be naive, somebody wanted you to be codependent, somebody wanted you to be so love struck so that they can take from you, so that they can betray you, so they can steal from you, so they can make you feel depleted. And you could have went back and forth like, oh, because you already knew that you could have possibly put yourself in a situation, okay, that you normally wouldn't. This is if you knew about the situation. And if you didn't know about the situation, you felt like something was off. You felt like you was being juggled. Your energy, your intuition wasn't lying. It was warning you, okay? You could have been trying to fight off your intuition because you didn't want to appear to be negative or even childlike thinking. Ain't that something, right? I feel like you decided to just focus on the Seven of Swords. Focus on you feeling betrayed, even if you didn't have no real evidence of it. You felt it, okay? That was the Ace of Swords revealing this truth, what was happening, all because you made a gamble, or because you was optimistic. Oh Lord. Okay, so the Eight of Swords to the Six of Swords is the Two of Cups in reverse. You dodged a bullet. You got the hell on, because it was nothing but disharmony that was going to happen in this connection with you on your own. You was being this was a disinjustice. I don't think that's a word, but this was an injustice for yourself, that betraying yourself to be in some sort of situation with someone who was unavailable. It's self-love. It's you realizing that this was never going to be a relationship that was going to work, no matter what. With the Six of Swords, it's saying that you followed your intuition. You decided to give yourself more love than being trapped in some sort of misery with someone who is miserable, because misery loves company. That's funny. What's this, y'all? We have the Queen of Cups. Self-love, compassion, care. Something was slow. Okay. Something wasn't genuine. You called it out. And you decided, instead of being stuck in that anger, that disappointment, that why did they do this, you started to say, made a choice, and the choice didn't work out in my favor, and it just is what it is. It's about you becoming emotionally stable, listening to your intuition, healing from whatever wounds you were sitting in, not allowing people to attack the things that they feel they can attack, and just loving yourself more on a day-to-day. Three of Wands, bottom of the deck. Learning yourself more on a day-to-day. Learning how to turn your back on bullshit ass offers. Learning how to read behind the smiles. Knowing that sometimes people just want to get your truth before they stab you in your back. get in your head before they use it against you. Get to your heart space before they determine how they're going to hurt you or how they're going to draw you in so they can try to control you. And this is where you're going to need the most compassion and most love, especially if you're still like in the workplace. You know, you may be wanting to move up in career, and you may not like where you are, and you have people around you that can see your strength and your power just by being someone who isn't codependent anymore. But you could have energy still lingering around of codependency. They'll use it. But hold yourself close, okay? Nurture your wounds on your own. We have nurturing out here twice, the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So there's definitely going to be some sort of balance within your emotions and your material wealth. And it's all going to require you being able to stand alone, walking away, turning your back on the judgment of others, okay? Not turning your back on yourself. Staying morally grounded, okay? Not staying in a victim mentality, but freeing yourself of the guilt and regret of feeling like you were duped. Because nobody wants to feel stupid. No one wants to feel like someone got one up on them, you know. But this is you acknowledging that you are just a human being with human emotions that had good intentions, and it happens, and not to allow yourself to make yourself feel as if somebody went up on you. What they did was they lost you. They lost a good person, okay? They lost someone that they could have grew with, but they couldn't see that because they were so invested in the power and control over you and what they can take from you, and how they could deceive you and how they can trick you, especially if you come off as being very intuitive. Yeah, it's like you gave somebody the opportunity to show their hand, but they never knew that you had the strength to turn your back on them. It's like somebody thought that you would always be sniffing behind them like a little dog, and they fucked around and found out. Alright, so what did you have to learn more than what I said already? All of this was preparing you to make forward progress, okay? Away from self-betrayal and the trickery and going against your own self for the sake of other people, okay? If you feel it, then that's what it is. People are not going to fully tell you the truth. Like, yeah, I just came in your life to fuck your life up, to see how much I can take from you, and still they're pussies. They're not going to say what their true intentions are. You just have to trust what your intuition already told you about the situation. Okay? If you trusted it, then fuck it, fine. You trusted it. Did you learn a lesson from it? I hope so. Are you going to feel lesser than because somebody, appears like they won? Why? No. Let them feel like they won. They really lost because they lost you. A real one. And in the process, if you would have stayed with them, you would have lost the real one too, yourself. Period. Like, so win-win on every side. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Save face for who? There's love bombing. There was intense start, sudden withdrawal, confusion. Okay. It's like somebody really wanted to shit on your face. Somebody is so intimidated by the way that you carry yourself, the things that you speak about, the knowledge that you actually have. And again, whether you go against your intuition or not, it's fine, because again, all right, if you're really a empathetic, caring, compassionate person, sometimes it's going to happen. You're going to go against yourself sometimes, and you're going to try to put optimism on other people. It's entirely up to them if they're going to play with you or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that you still have the strength to pull away, okay, if and when you feel that all of this shit is happening, they causing confusion, they withdrawing, doing certain dumb shit or whatever, then whatever. You follow the signs. Wherever it leads you is where you're going to go. 6 of Swords. Fuck them, right? Like, what's the point? Love yourself. We have only when convenient. Used for attention, emotional utility, and no depth. Yeah, I feel like whatever, if this person is in some sort of confusion with what they already have in a home life, they used you for attention, okay? Because whoever they're with, they probably withdrew the attention and the affection from them, and they wanted something from you, okay? If you gave it to them, fine, so be it. They won't get it anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they won't get it anymore. All right? Like, it's fine. Don't beat yourself up. This person lacked everything that you wanted in a person anyway. Maybe that makes you feel worse because it's like, this motherfucker wasn't even worth the time or the energy. Don't kick yourself. Just laugh at it, okay? Just laugh at it. They know they wasn't worth it. They know it. It's like now they got a notch on their belt, okay? That's it. Fuck them. Ooh, it says you always come back. It says false hope, door left open, and familiar pain. I feel like, based on your past circumstances, again, if this is someone who knows that you let people who have hurt you in the past back in, like I said, maybe you have children and then you have the other parent to the children, you let them come in and out of your life every now and again when you're feeling lonely, when you feel like you need to scratch that itch, excuse me, all right? And they know that you have this energy with you, it's just maybe something you should have kind of kept to yourself. Maybe you shouldn't have shared some sort of detail with this person, all right? You probably felt like they weren't the type of person. Like I said, you gave them more hope than they can ever give themselves. Yeah. Maybe you gave this person opportunities a few times to come in and out as well. It's now time to cut the optimism, like, especially when it comes to this person, especially knowing the details about a situation, or even if you don't, all right? After you found out, it's no reason to be with someone who is unavailable to you, because they're codependent, and they're gonna make you codependent. They're codependent on other people's feelings for them, and You got to starve them. You got to starve them out. You have to. It might be painful, but you have to starve them out. And it's painful only because you actually are a genuine being, okay? But just remember the hurt. This is when you have to hold on to that pain so that way it can continue to move forward, to continue to have you saying no. Should have been done, dragging on, already over, and denial. Like I just said, this is crazy. This is crazy. Don't drag yourself. If it's done now, let it be done. Let it be over. All right, don't go back. All right, you go back, you're gonna find yourself in the same energy, and then you would have to sit in the mirror and just admit to yourself that you a dumbass bitch. And that's all you can do, you know, like that's all you can do. All right, unless you change the situation. All right, because you can't change nobody else. You can only change you. All right. And rumor has it that habits are hard to break. And once you've displayed a habit in a situation, people normally take certain things for granted, especially those that want to have some sort of power and control over others. They'll take that as a weakness and use it for their own personal gain. If you identify that these people are this way, because there's nothing wrong with forgiving somebody and trying again. It's the repeated offenses right after it, because when they show you once, just know that it's likely that they will do it again. But sometimes we have people in our energy that they do work on themselves, that they are healing, that they are on the path that we are in, and they do change certain behaviors and they do fix certain things about themselves. But you would have to see again to see whether or not they are that person. So what is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. There will not be a third. Okay? So, in your past, maybe you had third, fourth, and fifth chances where after that, it's like just diabolical codependency going on. A bunch of toxic energy in flows of emotions where you're trying to get someone to cater to your feelings and emotions that don't give a fuck, because they're using yours to control you. And it's making them feel perfectly fine. It's like you're turning your power over to the devil. It says soul contracts and lessons. The people who trigger you most are often your greatest spiritual teachers. So I feel like you could have had to go through a connection where you made a bad choice, period. We all do. And the way it made you feel, okay, it could have made you feel like shit. Disconnected from your own body, ashamed, just all these negative, hurtful, nasty feelings. This person was meant to come into your life to trigger this, so that way you could move forward, so that way you could center yourself instead of them. You may not see it right now, but maybe one day you will. Again, if you sat through this message, and maybe you'll see it now. Maybe you'll understand a little better that is really true, that everything happens for a reason. It says self-sabotage awareness. It says where you are unconsciously blocking your own growth, identify the patterns. This is crazy because I just said this earlier. I didn't say it in these words, but pretty much like, if you're not willing to be fully accountable for the choices and decisions that you made in certain relationships, okay, regardless if you went in it with good intentions and it was still some sort of codependency habits that you could have had to heal before getting into these things. Maybe it was oversharing, maybe it was being overly optimistic, maybe it was doing things that you didn't really want to do, but you was told that, oh, that was immature thinking, so now you was trying to be mature, to fit in. But this was self-sabotage, period. Like I said, fool me once, look in the mirror. If you have these patterns that continuously repeat itself, where you feel like other people are responsible for your feelings, then you might need to find a space for just you and self, or a therapist, to help you filter through why you feel that other people are supposed to coddle you like a baby. Yeah. But identifying where you go wrong in certain areas in your life, and then you actually correcting it. And most of the time, correcting it means walking away. If you don't want to walk away, or if you feel like you can't walk away because it's a security thing, then come up with a fucking plan, so that way eventually prepare that you can go, that you can remove yourself. All right. But again, I do understand that some people are in DV situations where there is a lot of physical abuse that have been honored with fear of leaving, and I get that. I do. And if you were once in that relationship or that situation and you got out, I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you found the strength to find help to get out. And I hope you are safe, You could have had to start over. You could be starting over. We have spiritual bypass. It says avoiding pain with positivity delays growth. Embrace the full spectrum of your emotions. Like I said, you could have ignored some things. You could have been optimistic with people. This could have delayed your process for spiritual awakening, because you wanted someone to take care of your feelings and emotions. You wanted someone to coddle you, be your caregiver, be that person. But not everyone is going to be that person. It's like you have to enter relationships whole, okay? And you take your time. You don't rush things, all right? You allow things to kind of fold out, manifest on its own, do things independently. And if someone is coming your way that's rushing things, and that they haven't even closed shit out on somewhere else, or even if they're rushing things, it's a possibility they still ain't closed shit out, that they're just trying to use you for some sort of attention and affection, whatever. If somebody doesn't understand your no, that means that they haven't grown, that they are bypassing a spiritual awakening, and they're trying to use other people to help them bypass that so they can feel better about themselves. Okay? Once you identify these things, all right, you can begin to move forward, and you can begin to heal your own emotions, your own wounding, to where you're no longer delaying your process. Okay? Somebody can say hello beautiful, good morning beautiful, good night beautiful, call you every single day, all these other kind of things, and it still will not help. All right? It might feel good, but never seek outside attention before you seek it within yourself first. Okay? Because we will be repeating the same patterns continuously until we put an end to it, until we put a 6 of swords to it and just leave it behind. We have your inner light. It says, even in the depths of shadow, your soul remains luminous. Never lose sight of it. Yes, you still want love. You still want acceptance. The one thing that you did not do was give yourself enough credit. And when you don't give yourself enough credit, the abandonment energy circulates your aura. Okay? And when the abandonment aura energy circulates you, you'll abandon yourself every time by trying to find other people who can nurse the wounds of abandonment. And you'll find yourself abandoned every time. And then want to cry about it and share what this person didn't do and why this person did this and why this person did that. When it comes to your feelings and emotions, you have to remember that other people are not responsible for those things. Now, if someone putting their hands on you because you're expressing yourself, maybe you're setting a clear boundary. You're telling them that you're not going to tolerate the way that they behave, and if they don't change the behavior, you will leave. And then someone punches you in the face and then drags you and kicks you and create fear of leaving because of retaliation of physical harm, then I can understand how you can stay in this energy for so long. But even if it's not physical, psychologically, the same effects of physical abuse can be as damaging. But because people don't look at it, because you can't see it, it's very insidious and it's sneaky. It happens in the dark, it happens in the shadows. But your soul holds on to everything. I feel like we owe it to ourselves to release it into the light and not be codependent on relationships that are built with codependency that aren't very healthy and they're harmful. They can be, unless you know how to self-regulate your own feelings and emotions. Okay? You could be a sharp speaker. You could voice your feelings and emotions, but you can be voicing it to the wrong person. You can be voicing it to people who do not like the truth whatsoever. And they'll use it. They'll use it to harm you. They'll use it as an excuse to harm you because they are not strong enough within themselves to fix their behavior. Just like they're not strong enough to cater to your feelings. So until you are willing to admit that, you might want to be alone. Okay? And even if you're dating, and even if you could possibly be in a new relationship, okay? And it's better than your last ones. What was something that you did differently in this one? Did you take your time? Did you speak less? Did you tell less of your past? Okay, because our past tends to come up in our present, especially if we speak it to the wrong people. Okay, how much time did you give the relationship to transpire? Okay, yeah. Yeah. It's like, just because you get over certain things, don't disregard the things that other people know. You know, you can be very knowledgeable, you can be very smart, but other people are smart too. Other people are knowledgeable as well. Okay? Don't think that people ain't hip. All right? You might be book smart, but they can be street smart. You could have dealt with a lot of people from the streets, so you learned certain behaviors. So now you are wrapped in whole. They may not be book smart, but they know the street smart, and they're going to go the street way each and every time. And the streets don't love nobody unless they choose to step out of the victimhood of themselves and go seek some sort of help, heal. But until then, we are not responsible for one another in that capacity. We have victory, number 28. Somebody can be in their 20s. The year 1982 can be a significant. Somebody could be born in 1982. The number 10, which means endings and new beginnings, can also be significant. And that is a number 1. So something can be starting over. A new journey. Whatever this is victory. It says success and achievement. This card shows a beautiful spirit holding a gold victory wreath in acknowledgement of your achievement. Success is on its way, and you have a sense of pride in what you've worked to accomplish. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so used to taking these cards the way that I'm so used to taking these cards in the upright. This card definitely came out in the reverse. And I switched it over because I want the message to be so positive, but I can't manipulate the feeling of this read. So that's my bad. This card definitely came out in the reverse. It says the victory card reverse signals a delay or reversal in a hoped for outcome. Whether it's in personal change or external achievement, success may have been eluding you for some time, but don't despair. You may need to restructure things, reevaluate, or release one specific outcome and set your sights on another. Whatever's going on externally, remember that the equanimity of peaceful surrender can often be your biggest victory of all. So if you know that you don't deserve certain treatment, it's about peacefully surrendering, not arguing, not trying to get somebody to understand your side, not trying to get somebody to change how they feel about you. Just surrender. All right, it didn't work out. You got what you got. I gave you what you have. I don't have any more to give you. I hope that was enough. If it wasn't too bad, because it was a lot for me. And just peacefully move right on ahead. Okay? The affirmation for this card is, I'm achieving great things within myself and in the world. I see myself as success in many wonderful ways even now. Again, I'm achieving great things within myself and in the world. I see myself as a success in many wonderful ways even now. This is all I have for you. And until next time, namaste.